Aloha kakahiaka kako. Welcome to Close the Loop. My name is Rachel and I am so excited that you are here with me today. This is my very first YouTube video upload. So for those of you who have followed me from Instagram, thank you so much. For those of you who are just finding me here, hi! I'm Rachel. Nice to meet you, and I hope that you'll join me on my journey of sustainability, zero waste, minimalism, mom life, and more. So with that being said, let's get into today's video. So today I just thought I'd take time to introduce myself, being that this is my very first video and some of you are probably really new. So like I said, my name is Rachel. I live in Maui, and this channel is really for me to document my journey about sustainability. I unknowingly started my zero waste journey about 6 years ago, and so I thought that this would be a great way to hold myself accountable and also build a community, or find a community at least, that could join me along with this. So that's one of the main reasons why this channel is being made. Another reason is that a lot of the sustainability, zero waste aesthetic on Instagram is just that. It's an aesthetic. And for me, as someone who is a stay-at-home mom who doesn't have a very big income, it's just not feasible, it's not practical. And so I want to showcase my life in a more real, practical type of way that is budget friendly, low income friendly, and just to show people that you don't have to spend so much money to be sustainable and to make sustainable choices. On top of that, I'm a new mom. My baby is almost 1 year old. She is so close. She'll be 1 this year. But as a new mom, I want to be able to showcase to my child and lead in an example of showing her what it's like to live consciously, to be conscious of the way that we consume things, whether that's things on the internet, whether that's things that we buy at the store, knowing where they come from, knowing the materials, knowing what that looks like. And so I want to set that example for her and raise her up in that way, which leads me into my next reason, which is that I am a woman of faith. I do believe in Jesus and that he is my Lord and Savior, and I do believe that as a follower of Christ and as a believer in God, that it is our responsibility to take care of God's creation, that the charge at the beginning in Genesis for Adam and Eve was to steward the land, to rule over it, not in a domineering way, but to farm it essentially, and to cultivate it and to take care of it. And I believe that those traits hold true up until now and to this day and age, and that we should really be participating in celebrating and taking care of God's creation as he intended it to be so beautiful. So today I'm mainly going to be talking about my sustainability journey. Where did I start? How did I get to where I am now talking to you? So like I said, I unknowingly started my zero waste journey maybe about 6 years ago. I was still in college. I was in school in Colorado, and I was at a Lush store with some friends, and one of the wonderful sales associates showed me that they had a shampoo bar, and that was a really big new concept for me. I didn't think about, packaging at that time, the impacts of plastic and things like that. And so to see like, oh, I could have a little bar this big and I could use that for like months on end, like I could replace my shampoo bottles with this bar. I thought it was amazing, and they ended up hating it, so I ended up stopping using that. But that alone was enough to kind of plant a seed into my brain, at least, and to tell me like, hey, there are better options out there. There is such thing as package free. So slowly and slowly, more things about sustainability were brought to my attention, especially being in some place like Colorado, just noticing that people were always carrying their own water bottles, that people were really outdoorsy and really taking care of the places that they were hiking at, or biking, or skiing, or snowboarding. And so it started to pique my interest essentially, and I wanted to learn more. So fast forward to maybe about 3-ish years ago, I actually continued to use Lush products because I found that they had a lot of really great naked options. So I found a shampoo bar that actually worked for my hair. I started using a conditioner bar. I eventually started using one of their naked face oils. But it was also around that time that reusable straws were becoming very, very popular. Kind of that movement of Save the Turtles was happening. And so I was looking for a straw that wasn't too expensive. Not that they're expensive in any right to get a reusable straw, but I was looking for a not expensive one. And so I stumbled upon a brand called Mermaid Straws, and at that time they were giving away free straws, like a free trial. And I was like, oh great, cool, for free, because you know, I didn't want to pay for anything because I had only been out of college for a little while and didn't have a lot of money. So I ordered one for free, but I bought like a little carrying case for it, and I thought it was like so cute and so eco-friendly. But that was another big step in my journey, was getting that reusable straw. And the great thing about that was I ended up loving it so much that that year I bought straws for everybody. I brought a straw for both my sisters. I think I got one for my mom. I got one for my husband's cousin. So I just started slowly buying straws for people. Then jump forward to 2 years ago. That is when I switched over to using my own silverware, and my husband and I really started to take notice of those things and not bringing plastic forks to work or using the plastic forks and spoons that were at work, but bringing our own utensils. And at the time we didn't realize it, but we ended up buying our own off of Amazon, which I think was great for us at the time. But now we're in a place where we realize, okay, well, we can just use the utensils we have at home. But at the time it was such a big step, and it was a set that came with a fork and a spoon and a knife and chopsticks and straws, and it was so great and so awesome to have, and to kind of feel that empowerment of, wow, I really was using not maybe just one plastic fork or spoon a day, but was using multiple, and not saving them but throwing them away. And so that opened my eyes to really how much waste I was producing just on a daily basis. And so over the past 2 years from that point, I've become a lot more conscious about the way that I interact with waste and how I can combat it. So I've really done my best to bring reusable containers, Tupperware, when I would bring food to work, my own cutlery, like I said. We recently bought stasher bags and other silicone bags to use instead of Ziploc bags. I even got some for my mom for Christmas this year. My sister got some as a gift at her baby shower. I've even started saving the glass bottles that we have just to repurpose and reuse. We use one bottle for the homemade oat milk that I make, and then my husband sometimes will use another bottle for his water bottle when he goes to work. But basically now we're at a point where we're using reusables at least 70 to 80% of the time. There's obviously still waste that is going on in our household. This isn't my own home. We live with my in-laws, which is a great thing, but sustainability is really my journey and not necessarily theirs. So we still use things like paper towels, we still have toilet paper, we still have the occasional disposable fork or spoon or plate, though I try my best not to use them, but that's okay, and we're doing the best that we can in the situation that we have right now. Another thing I want to note for me personally is at the start of this year, I decided that I would exclusively only buy things secondhand in terms of clothing. So I no longer shop fast fashion, and a huge part of my story with that is that I used to work at Forever 21. I would work at our Forever 21 store here on Maui seasonally. So when I would come home from college during summer and winter, I would work there, and I was constantly spending my paycheck. I was so tempted. I would buy so many things. I had this huge closet that I accumulated, and it actually wasn't until I got married that I kind of saw how much I had and decided, I had already stopped working at Forever 21 by the way, but I had decided that it was time to get rid of a lot. And so I created a capsule wardrobe from there. And I was still buying fast fashion, but even from there now up to this point, after seeing YouTubers like Get to Marry and Shelby, Bisley, and their take on zero waste sustainable lifestyles, I decided that it was important for me to also change my mindset from not just paring down my closet while still consuming fast fashion, but getting fast fashion totally out of the picture. And so from 2021 on, I'm hoping to 99% of the time, I'm going to put that out there just in case there's an emergency or there's even a sustainable brand that I want to purchase from, but that I want to make all my purchases secondhand for my clothing, as well as for everything else too. My camera is secondhand, My husband's Christmas present was secondhand. My daughter's Christmas present was secondhand. Most of her clothes are secondhand as well. And just trying to contribute to a more circular economy as opposed to this gouging of resources and placing this importance on new and more, but cultivating a love for the things that we already have. And that brings me to the name of my channel, which is Close the Loop. For me, it is important to emphasize the fact that I believe in a circular society, a circular economy where we aren't necessarily making things new anymore, but we are looking at the things that we already have and how we can reuse them, repurpose them, repair them, how we can give things back to the earth so that the earth can give back to us. And I understand that the burden shouldn't be on us as consumers and that it's really the big corporations who are at fault. But there is still value in making small changes in our lives and wanting things like this. You vote with your dollar. I vote with my dollar. And so the way that we spend our money, the way that we live our lives counts because we show these big corporations exactly how we want the world to be. And I hope that together, me, you, all of us can join together and create a better world, not just for us, but for the generations to come. So that's a little bit about me over this journey. I hope you learned some more, and I hope I'll get to learn more about you. Leave your name below in the comments and let me know who you are, where you're from, how'd you find my channel? I would love to know and love to talk to you. So be on the lookout for more content from me. I hope to be uploading at least once a week. And if you like what you saw today, go ahead and give a like and subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified of when I upload new videos. You can also follow me on Instagram at close.theloop, where you can see more of the things that I do day to day in my daily life. So I'll see you guys all again soon. Ahoy ho!